Superior Custom Styles with Sir Reginald. Today we're going to do some clipper maintenance on the Andis Master as well as the Oster Fast Feed. We're going to do some adjustments to our clippers and make sure that they're cutting as close as absolutely possible for whenever you get that line in the head and you just got to get it out. Come on in. Our next clipper we're going to work with is one I really enjoy, the power of an Oster Fast Feed. It gives me the power that I need based off of motor driven, but it's a magnetic clipper that Oster made. Once upon a time this was one of the premier clippers. It kind of faded off, for me at least, when Oster made a change on their blade. I say back in like the late 90s, Oster made a change to the blade. It used to have a very fine blade to it. You can see that. Blade used to be very fine and it would give you, there it is. The blade used to be very fine and it would give you a very fine cut. They switched the blade for whatever reason and they had a wider blade. This is the blade you'll currently find on a modern day purchase Fast Feed Oster. I wish they wouldn't have did that. I didn't like the cut at all. So what I did, I went back and found one of the old ones out of the boneyard. I had this blade sharpened. It's a finer blade and it gives me a much finer cut. Now one thing you'll find about the Oster is it's very hard to cut a skin tight ball fade with the Oster. I use them mostly for my temple tapers, my shadow fades, things of that nature. But if you want to get a closer cut with the, if you would like to get a closer cut with the Oster Fast Feed, it is possible. Prior to cleaning this clipper, first thing we're going to do is use our can of compressed air and blow it out so that you can see exactly what you're doing. Next, I want to draw your attention to the inner mechanicals of the blade assembly. As I adjust this back, two important screws you want to see are these two black screws here. If you loosen these two black screws and push this particular part as far forward as you can get it, meaning you want to go that way with it. Now for extensive cleaning, you're going to take these screws that hold the actual hole together apart. You're going to open that up and you'll have a magnetic engine in there, and you can use your compressed air to blow that out. We're not going to get that extensive today, but we're basically just going to blow out the main mechanism. We're basically just going to blow out the main mechanism, get any loose hair out of there. Actually clean the blade, which is a good idea to wipe that blade down with your 70 or 91% alcohol. It's going to get that blade nice and clean. Let's blow that out, make sure we don't have any loose hairs on that blade. Down really good. Now this is very important. You've just stripped any type of lubricant that this blade has with 70% or 91% alcohol. What you want to do is make sure this blade is lubricated to avoid rust. I prefer to use the clipper side. Now spray that blade down. And the clipper side is an antifungal, disinfectant. And the clipper side is an antifungal, disinfectant, as well as lubricant. It's safe for your blades. It doesn't turn them any funky colors on you. That's why I prefer this one when cleaning. You can let that sit for a second. You can towel blot it. Make sure you sprayed that. It's not safe to put your blades or submerge your blades in any barbicide or anything of that nature. It's not a good idea. It's not a bad idea to give your blade a 3 to 5 minute rest in a UV sterilizer prior to reapplying it to your clipper. I'm going to place this blade in a UV sanitizer for 3 to 5 minutes. Go ahead and close that up and let that UV kill off any bacteria that we might have missed. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put our Oster back together. There's a guard bar that goes right atop there. And remember, we've adjusted these screws to push this lever as far forward as we can. It's going to give us the closest cut we can possibly get out of this Oster. Now, to get it any closer will require a modification to your steel blade, and I'll show you that in a moment. Okay, as you can see, by adjusting my Oster Fast Feed blade, I've gotten a much flusher, if that's even a word, but you know what I'm saying. I've gotten a much better, okay, I didn't ran out of words, but anyway, if you can see what I'm talking about. My moving blade and my steel blade are a whole lot closer than they normally would have been. By making the modification to this blade, you would have to saw this down a little bit. I really don't think it's that serious, but it depends on what you like. I don't like the old blade that went with it, so I went with a finer blade. I found that on one of my old detachable blades. They fit. All the Oster blades are interchangeable. I learned that, and they fit. So I took that old wide blade that wasn't getting me any. I took that old wide blade that wasn't getting me much of a good cut, and I went with a thinner blade, which I can get a much finer cut on. My blends look a whole lot better. I'm still not necessarily able to work out a line with this clipper, but my best bet is, like on a taper fade, if I'm not going all the way to the skin, it gives me a great finish. Thank you.